Hello and welcome back to my scrap room. My name is Jennifer Perry and I am an independent consultant with Close to My Heart. And today we are going to be working out of the Holiday Expressions catalog. It is live from September 1st until December 31st of 2018. I'm so excited to be teaching this workshop. We're going to be working on the deluxe version of the bouquet workshop. The deluxe version is a full kit, so you'll need to order a full Workshop Your Way kit like you would normally do, but then you also need to order the deluxe bundle. And what comes in the bundle are palette knives, texture paste, a sugar plum shimmer brush, and matte stencil film. And let me show you, because I've already cut some. This is what the stencil film looks like. And you're going to use your Cricut to cut stencils. So from those stencils, this is my sample because I needed to do a sample to find out about how long it dries. I did this at 9:30 yesterday morning, and by noon it was very dry. So if you're going to do this workshop, you're going to need some time to allow this medium to dry. So before we get into the cutting, let me explain a few things when you get your workshop guide. These red outlines are the Cricut cuts, and you're used to seeing those because we've had a Cricut for multiple years now, so you're used to seeing the red lines. But these numbers right here that I've got highlighted are the cut in Design Space. So you're going to take this number and you're going to go to Image, and then you're going to go to Search and put in that number, and these cuts will come up, and then all you have to do is resize them. So for this one, the size is 4 1/2, and for this one the size is 5 1/2. So you're just going to put in the number in Image and Search, and it will pull these up, and you won't spend as much time as I did looking for them. Now when you're cutting the stencil and you've got it on your mat, it's going to look like it's not cutting, but just hold off, it is. I was really worried that it didn't cut through, and I actually was thinking that I actually put a blade in the machine, and then I got to thinking I never took my blade out, so there has to be one in there. So just bear with it, it will cut. It's very thin, but it worked out very well. Now when you receive your kit, it's going to come with, it's a regular workshop that you're used to working with. So it's going to come with your compliments, your twine, your puppy stickers, your photo placement cards, and then you also need the deluxe bundle. So I'm going to separate the cardstock from the B&T and set the cardstock aside. And the first cut I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all the zip strips off my paper. Okay, so I have all the zip strips off. We're going to hold those off to the side for just a moment. We will need them. Oh no, I don't. I have 2 more. Sorry. I keep forgetting these have zip strips. Okay, so the next thing I do is I cut both of the PML cards totally apart. So for this card, I'm going to cut here and I'm going to cut here to help separate everything. I'm going to do the same thing with this sheet. I love this guideline on my trimmer because it means I can make more precise cuts. If you happen to have one of these trimmers and you pop a guideline, I don't know if you can see the guideline right there, but if you happen to pop a guideline, take a picture of it, and if you happen to know your purchase date, it helps. I wrote the purchase date on the back of this one, but if you take a picture of the broken guideline, you can email it to Fiskars with your contact information, and they will send you an entirely new arm for free. It is something that they have fixed. I believe they fixed it to where they don't pop so easily now or fray. But if you happen to have one that's got one of the older designs, it has a lifetime warranty. They'll fix it for you. Okay, so we've got our cards and we've got our zip strips. Before we start any big cutting, is I'm going to pull out my background pages. This one is for layout 3. This one is for layout 2. And this one is for layout 1. So we've got those. Now our zip strips, we need these. So let's find those real fast. So we need these for layout 3. So I'm going to pop those in the layout 3 tray. We need these for layout 2, and they need to be cut at 11 inches. And those go in layout 2, my layout 2 tray. And then these, so I have one at 6.5. So there's my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.5. Just double checking myself. And then 1 at 5. And that's for layout 3. I'm going to put all of these in my baggie. And then we need, which PML cards do we need? We need this card for number 3, for layout 3. We need this card for layout 1. And this card for layout 2. So we can put all these away. So these are just some trays that I picked up from Scrapbook.com many years ago. I have them labeled layout 1, layout 2, and layout 3. And as I'm making my cuts, I'm just popping them in the appropriate little slot. Now, you do not need to have these. It makes it way easier. But you can make piles. You can have 3 separate little baggies. Whatever makes it easier for you, but you're going to end up making 3 piles. So our first cut is going to be 5 by 12, and we're going to do that cut twice. So because this is already 12 inches this way and this way, we're just going to cut it once. Well, twice, but you know what I mean. So there's one cut at 5. There's 2 cuts at 5, and these are for layout 2 because it says 2A. 2 is the layout, and the letter is the piece on the layout. So these go in my 2 pile. The next cut is going to be a 10 1/4. So I'm going to do my 10 1/4 cut first. So 10. There's my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a 4th. This is scrap, so we can put that in our baggie. So there's 1 inch. And that should be 1 inch. And it is. And this goes in layout 2. So our next cuts are going to be 3 inches, so 3 by 12. These go in layout or pile 3. And then our next one is going to be 4 1/2 by 5. So here's your 4, 4 1/4, 4 1/2. This is scraps. We're going to turn it and do 5. And on this one, this is the back side, but I'm going to write 1C because I need to know what this cut is just a few minutes later. So 1C, and this is going to go in the 1 pile, the layout 1 pile. The next one is these 2 sheets. So I need 2 cuts at 1 1/2, and I want to check my orientation really quickly. So these are going to be, it says when it has the asterisk, that's the back side of the paper. And because this particular paper has words, I want to go to this layout and check my orientation. And they are proper reading So I'm going to put this direction, and they're going to be 1.5. And I need 2 of these. So put those in the one pile. And then I need 9 by 9. So this should be, here's 9. Oop, it's got a little bit. Let's cut that off. And then 9. That's going to be in the one pile. And the next one is the same exact cut, 9 by 9. And it's going to go in the one pile. And these are scraps. Now keep your scraps, because they are perfect for card making. Turn the page. Now we need the peach cardstock. So the first cut is going to be 6 1/4. So we're going to cut the peach cardstock 6 1/4 this way first. So this is 6. This is 1/4. And then we're going to turn it and make 2 cuts at 4 1/4. So 4 1/4, and then 4 1/4. And this goes into layout 2. This is scraps. Now, because this is not 6 1/4, you can see that's not 6 1/4, it's too short. So we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. And then turn it in 6 1/4. And this also goes in layout 2. Again, you get to look at your cuts, and they all say 4 1/4. So we're going to cut this way 4 1/4 width first, and then we'll turn it and do 4 1/4 height. So 4 1/4. We're going to do 2 cuts. That is scraps. Turn it. 4 1/4. 4 1/4. This piece is scrap. 4 1/4. And 4 1/4. And these go in layout 3. I put my scraps away as I go so I don't get confused. If I happen to have to step away, I know where everything is. Our last cut is with the white daisy, and it is going to be 5 1/2. So there's your 5, 5 1/4, 5 1/2. By 7. And there's your 5x7. And we're going to put this in number 2. So it says the next cuts are going to be these two here with the stencil sheets. So I've already done mine. And they will go, I'm just going to place them in the proper, so that's that one, this is 2. So this is going to go in layout 2, just so I can find it. And this is going to go in layout 3, just so I can find it. So I'm going to just set it right in the tray so I don't lose it. So the last step that I do before I start assembly is I take my photo placement cards and I put them in piles. And then I go through, so I've got one 4x6, one 2x2, one 3x4, and then the journaling card, so that goes in layout 1. And then 4x6, 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 that goes in layout 2. And these are all 4x4, so I guess they all go together, 4x4, 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 and 4x4, so these go in layout 3. And I pop those in their appropriate spots too. So now that we have the appropriate cutting done, our next step is to play with the texture paste and to put these all together. See you soon. Bye bye.